in this episode.
I just want to say, I'm a Liverpool fan. And because it's been such a gripping title race, I just wanted to say, I just thought we should get a trophy, even if we come second. Why are you laughing, mate? If we got 97 points, that's the best anyone's ever. Apart from 50 last year.
What should the trophy be called, Cameron?
Just Premier League.
The Fantasy Football Show.
Hello listeners, welcome to episode 61 of the second season of Planet FPL, the world where everything revolves around Fantasy Premier League. My name's Suj.
And my name is James.
Gameweek 37's over. Gameweek 38 is merely a week away. And then this nightmare of a season is over.
Don't be like that. It's been good fun.
Nah, man. It has not been good fun. I'm outside the top 500,000. How can it be good fun?
You're not alone, mate. Not everybody can, Why don't you walk around? I'm in the top 10%.
Yeah, I suppose I am in the top 10%. But we would.
Admittedly, the other 90% is a dead team, but you're in it.
Yeah, true. Do you watch movies? Are you into films?
Yeah, what's your film?
You've seen James Bond's Casino Royale. Mm-hmm. We're talking about with Daniel Craig.
Yeah, like a bit Bond.
There's a scene close towards the end where James Bond is butt naked on a chair, which has a hole in the bottom, and he's strapped down. And Le Chiffre has that sock thing, and he swings it underneath and keeps whacking him in the bollocks from underneath. Do you remember that scene?
No. I think I watched the PG version.
There is a scene. Manchild's it. Manchild, do you remember Daniel Craig being Le Chiffre having this weapon that he swings from underneath and whacks him in the bollocks repeatedly? That is FPL, and I am sitting in that chair.
Me still.
Week in, week out, every game week, it's like that guy Le Chiffre swinging that sock and bang, hitting me in the balls from underneath. Fucking game.
How many points you get this week, Suj?
44, which is more than you.
Exactly.
And more than Manchild. I'm very confused how the average was 48 this week, because a lot of people missed their captain. No Salah, Mane, Aguero, Sterling returns. Very few of the big boys returning. I mean, Hazard and Aubameyang may be the only ones.
But some big boy defenders if you had the right ones.
Yeah, I think it was real defensive returns was where the points were made.
So, if you had a combination of, hypothetically, Doherty, Alexander-Arnold, David Luiz, Laporte.
Yeah.
You would have had a very good game week.
One of the leagues that I'm in, somebody had very similar Doherty, Van Dijk, Arnold and Laporte. Yeah. And that person scored 85 this game week. So decent, but still 48 was a high average considering the lack of attacking returns. 48 was a high average.
I think the overall game was higher than the top 10k average, I think.
Oh, really?
I think so.
That's interesting. I mean, there may have been a few that had dead teams with Salah captain potentially. I don't know.
Well, there'd be quite a few live teams with Salah captain, wouldn't it?
Yeah, potentially as well. I mean, that was an interesting result as well. Just the weekend of, I don't know, more meh from top 4 contenders. Awful. Apart from Chelsea.
I come back to that.
Yeah, but then I suppose it's interesting going into the last game week of the season with the only thing left to tie up really is the title. Everything else is done and dusted. Yeah, 3rd or 4th, who finishes where is still up for grabs. But realistically, Arsenal are not going to catch Tottenham for 4th place, so that's tied up. And all the relegated teams are gone. Auf Wiedersehen.
Let me tell you right now that Spurs will lose 8-0 to Everton. And Arsenal won't beat Burnley.
Yeah, that's how it's been. Happen. That's the kind of thing that will happen. Ridiculous. So, I mean, I don't know, to be honest, with this weekend's football, how I feel. Like I said, I feel like James Bond sitting in that chair with his bollocks getting hit from underneath every fucking 10 minutes. So you scored?
Oh, 38 minus 4.
Oh.
Yeah. And actually the hit worked as well.
Tell everybody your overall rank and all of the vital statistics.
My overall rank is back down to 211k.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, shit fucking happens, doesn't it? So I took out Duffy and Ericsson.
Yep.
And I brought in Cole Walker and Diego Jota.
Okay. So
And
blank
actually,
from Hotter. Well,
Walker's 1 point bonus made it better than if I'd gone the other way, which I very nearly took out Ericsson and Son
yeah.
for Hotter and Sterling. And I just came to the conclusion on City that they've been winning a lot of games quite narrowly. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to go for the two defensive. And I was in fear. I was in fear of what Sterling might do. Actually, he had a quiet night, as did Aguero as well. But Leicester played really well.
And so overall, you're down to 220k.
211k.
211k.
So there's still a chance of beating last year's. I felt setting up for the team this week. I really felt looking at it because it was almost like a free hit team. I had 3 Wolves, 3 Liverpool, 3 City, and 2 Spurs.
Yeah.
And I almost felt like if I nailed it, I could still push for the top 100k. But it's been like that all season. Where every time we've looked at it and thought, I could hammer it this week. And it's not even close. It's miles off.
Nah.
So all I've had is essentially the 2 City clean sheets and Bolly clean sheet.
I had the one saving grace this entire FPL weekend. I was in Amsterdam for the whole weekend.
Nice
which
place,
meant doesn't matter what happens, I was chilling. No football could make me sad. Relaxing break.
Were you watching the game sober or were you a bit mashed up, mate?
Mashed up.
Oh, really?
Indeed. So the first game I watched was your game on the Saturday morning. I didn't watch the Friday night game. We were out having dinner or whatever. And I watched it with Karam, who's on Twitter. Kuhn Karam. You met him, mate. Yeah. So we watched the Spurs game together and both of us had Heung-min Son. So 25, 30 minutes in or whatever it was, we were just hanging our heads thinking what else could go wrong. But then got to like 85, 87 minutes thinking, well, at least I've scraped my Lloris clean sheet points.
Was on for a 10-pointer as well, basically, mate.
FFS, for fuck's sake.
And me, mate, and me.
Yeah, so I ended up with 44 points. I didn't take any hits. I did something that I've very rarely done. I might have only done it once or twice in my entire FPL history, in that I let a free transfer burn.
You burned it?
I let it go. I didn't make a move in the end. I was really umming and ahhing what move to make.
You burned the transfer?
I let a transfer go.
That's fucking unacceptable.
I don't know. There was nothing to do.
Nah.
There was nothing to do.
Keep talking about Amsterdam. We're going to pick holes in your squad, mate.
Nah, there was nothing so there was a couple of moves I wanted to make. I wanted to get Aguero in, and the only player I could let go for Aguero and make it affordable was Firmino. But I didn't want to lose my Liverpool attacking asset. Obviously, there was a risk that he wasn't going to play, or a high risk. But I'll keep him for this week. And if I lost Firmino, I had to downgrade Eden Hazard. I either had to downgrade Son or downgrade Eden Hazard to give me the money to get Aguero. I didn't want to downgrade Hazard before his last game at home for Chelsea. And I didn't want to downgrade Son because he was fresh, because he hadn't fucking played midweek, had he? Now that is just bad luck. You can't really legislate for Son going off on one like that. And Hazard, it was the right move to keep Eden Hazard because he got me a couple of assists and some BPS there as well. So in the end, I thought, okay, fine. I could have got rid of Firmino. Hindsight is a beautiful thing, knowing that he could have been better off. Rashford at home to Huddersfield had a yellow flag, but he played, and United did a garbage job. Duffy, I could have got rid of Duffy or Ryan.
That's the one I'm looking at here. I'm going, what is your excuse?
I mean, they're not going to play.
Yeah, but then go to a 3.9 and then you've got more power on the final day.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I mean, I suppose it was that lethargy of end of the season. Am I really going to be that bothered about the move that I'm going to make for the extra 0.2, 0.3? And so now this week's transfers have kind of made themselves apparent. Son getting himself suspended has made my choice very easy. And I'll be losing Firmino this week. So Son and Firmino are out this week. I don't know where I'm getting yet. Haven't decided. I might get an Arnautovic in just for shits and giggles.
I'm not gonna stick on the point of the fact that Duffy is still in your squad, because I think that could take the whole podcast. I also have Son and Firmino, and also probably selling both. I won't make any transfers till Sunday. I've got to be honest. I've not given it too much thought. I mean, I think if Firmino goes, if he's definitely not fit for the weekend, I think I would probably go Son to Salah, and then I can go Firmino to a sort of Batchwise area.
Yeah, something like that. Cheap. Do you have any money in the bank?
Yeah, I've got about 1.9 in the bank or something.
So you got a bit of
so
that, bit of moolah as well.
I can do that. That's fine. But I've not give it too much thought. I mean, you said it's opened up in terms of easy. Do you know where you'll go from Son?
No.
Because
there's a few on my shortlist though. Anywhere from Son, I could downgrade to maybe Gylfi, or I'll have a look at the fixtures and what I fancy. It's one of those tricky ones where most clubs don't have much to play for now. We're going away to Watford, West Ham, and we're on a little bit of a good run. Fancy maybe a little bit of Antonio for a punt, maybe.
The problem is when replacing Son, and it's a particular one I think aimed at him, because a lot of people will be in a position where they've got one free transfer, nearly no money in the bank in most cases. So you want to go from someone in a similar price range.
Yeah.
So you can't go up to De Bruyne because he's probably out. It's 9.6. That's probably as high as you'd be able to go, maybe, sort of money in the bank. You can't go to Sane, not after what happened yesterday. You got Eriksen and Ali. You fancy that? No, I don't think so. David Silva, 8.5. It appeals. Pogba, 8.5.
Manchester United, 0.0.
We can come back and then you start going down. You're going Mahrez, Ozil, Bernardo Silva, and then you think Sigurdsson 7.4. Do you want to get him away for Spurs last week? Punt? I don't know. So it's not.
I might go up to Sadio Mane.
If you can afford it, great. But what is he like? Mane's 10.2.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is most people have
only
only got.
If I get rid of Firmino and downgrade him to Marko Arnautovic or whatever.
Most people are going to be in a position where they've probably only got sort of 9 to play with, and you think it's last game. Say if you want to go to Sigurdsson, say if you feel like, which I think is fine if people want to do that, and suddenly you potentially got sort of 1.3, 1.6 spare going into the last game. You're taking a hit, aren't you?
Yeah. This is where end of season you play a little bit differently to the start of the season.
It's the last game. Enjoy it. Have a team that you're going to be happy with in that last day. You probably won't be happy with all 15, but
no.
But be happy with the majority of what you've got is what I would advise.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to get a cheeky West Ham and out of Antonio or Arnautovic just for fun on the last day.
I think the honest thing, and so many will be in a position with Son. The problem is the most obvious player to go to is Pogba. Mm-hmm. And as it was, I think, for people who had let go of Eriksen last week as well. So many have made that move, will be pissed off. And they'll be pissed off even that they're holding it for Cardiff at home. And there'll be so many who are still considering it now, I think, because it's just blindingly obvious. I mean, he did it to Bar twice, Pogba, right? So there could have been different returns there. But I feel no want to I could just go, Son's Pogba, crack on, get on with it. I don't think that's what I'll be doing.
No. Let's talk about some of the games, shall we? In order of their being played. Friday night football, Everton 2, Burnley 0. Burnley are safe. Everton's home run continues. Decent home run that they're on. I've always liked Everton, so I'm quite happy that they're doing okay. Definitely, if I was setting my team up for next season, Lucas Dean and Siggy are in.
Everton gave a perfect analysis here. Well, not analysis. Set a perfect example of exactly how you should start a game of football against a side like Burnley. Mm-hmm. They went for it from the off, plenty of balls into the box, got territory high, kept putting the pressure on, having shots from long range, not trying to sort of overforce the extra pass, testing things to get the crowd up. Won the game inside 20 odd minutes, and actually for the rest of it they were pretty shit. But they did the damage early on, and again, watching the game, I couldn't help but feel like Calvert-Lewin, who I don't know if he's going to be an FPL asset next year or not, but has made such a difference to them, and the benefit is going towards the players like Sigurdsson and Richarlison.
The thing with what you mentioned about Calvert-Lewin is it's price dependent, right? Where does he come in?
But
because if
you don't know if he's got the capability to go and get maybe 10, 12 goals. You're not sure if he will, because he does so much work for the others in terms of running the channels and stuff. It's Sigurdsson and Richarlison who are really seeing the benefit of that. At just a pointer, it's minor for FPL, but Morgan Schneiderlin has probably played his first good games for Everton the last couple of times I've watched them. And obviously so many already thinking towards next season in terms of Dean.
Yeah.
Coleman, if he's still about. Even Michael Keane.
Everyone's
Pickford.
getting excited, but we don't know any pricing information. You wouldn't think Gylfi would be much more than the 8 odd million that he was this season, 8.5 or whatever.
He was
Lucas Dean might go up to 5.5.
8.5 after the excellent season with Swansea, and actually his points number is in and around that now. So he might come in at 8.5. I think it'd be at least 8.
Yeah, which is not bad value, mate.
There are so many, when you look at all the players that you're kind of already thinking towards for next season, the anticipation with so many of them is that they're going to rise, right?
Yeah.
And you start thinking, how am I going to fit all these guys in? There might be some guys who've had very average seasons this year who might excel and come back to the fore next year. Like, I don't know, people like Dele Alli, who's had a very interrupted season, for example.
Pascal Gross.
Yeah, people, there'll be other options. Don't fret about trying to get them all in. It's going to be about finding the right cheapies early on, I think, and learning what we can understand on Norwich and Sheffield United, and whoever else gets promoted from the playoffs will be important.
Exactly, yeah. Which was all tied and done and dusted. So Leeds are playing Derby.
And West Brom playing
And
Villa.
West Brom play Villa. So they're both... My mate that I was out in Amsterdam with is actually from Derby. So he was enjoying it on Saturday or Sunday, whenever it was, that Derby went through, winning comfortably in the end. But he said Leeds Derby's got a bit of a sting to it because of the old
Bielsa.
manager stuff. And West Brom and Villa is a local derby.
They do not like each other.
So there's a bit of a sting in both of the Championship playoff semis, which will be interesting. So who do you think's going to come up?
Oh, crap. Villa are probably the form horse.
Villa in form. I think I'd like to see Leeds back up,
I don't really have an opinion on it one way or the other. I don't really...
Or Derby. I don't mind Derby.
I
don't know what
The thing is, if you just want to talk about it briefly, quickly, like with West Brom, they've yo-yoed a bit, right?
Yeah.
They had a good little spell. They had a good team with Lukaku and stuff like that. The thing with them is, with respect, and I know we've got a few West Brom listeners, so I have to be careful here. If they come up, you wonder what they can do.
Yeah.
That will be different. Whereas Derby with Lampard, I think, would be a real struggle first year. And I think they're probably the poorest of the four teams. They've also got a lot of players in on loan. I don't know if they'd be able to get them in and stuff. But there's potential. You do get regular crowds of towards 30,000. And Leeds and Villa, in terms of size of club, really, I mean, it's a joke that Leeds haven't been in the Premier League for like 15 years. It'll be this summer, I think. That's a joke.
Yeah.
Because Leeds and Villa have the size and capability to really push on and become a top 10 side over a consistent period and then push on to more. There's actually been rumours. Your guy's been rumoured to pull out of PSG, isn't he?
Okay.
I've heard Leeds and Villa both mentioned.
Okay.
I mean, if that's the playoff final, imagine that the PSG owner takes the winner.
Yeah.
They called it the richest game in football. That'd be a seriously rich game, right?
Let's talk about Bournemouth 1, Spurs 0. You watched on the telly?
Yeah, I was in the pub.
Same as me. Interesting game, I thought. When we saw the keeper, Bournemouth keeper, the kid was out. I thought, okay, well, look, Spurs, if that might be an advantage. He played a blinder.
We ain't stupid, because I was treating with...
He made them look world-class.
Neil, AFC
Yeah.
BNG, before the game. And he was pointing out, obviously, young players starting in goal. I was like, look, Begovic and Boris are shit anyway.
Yeah.
His kid's going to have the game of his fucking life. He's Sod's Law. And he was excellent in the first half. All the saves were probably saves...
They were mainly
you
at
would
him.
expect
He made
to
them
make.
look. He did make them look.
But
a
you
little
still got
better
to do
than they
it.
were.
And obviously,
On your debut.
when Lucas had the effort after 5 minutes,
Yeah.
I mean, his arse must have hit the floor, mate.
Yeah.
He must have shit himself. So he responded from that, made good saves. But yeah, all in the talk in the pub was, this kid will have a world. He was so predictable. And in the first half, that's the best we've played in a league game for a while.
Yeah, you should have easily been 3-4 up.
And yet, by half time, we should have been 2 men down.
Yeah.
We should have had a penalty against us.
Yeah.
But in terms of football, this was much better.
Yeah.
And then,
But Bournemouth, obviously, but when it came to the second half, obviously the numbers did tell.
Course
having
it
two
did.
extra players, and it's always going to. But you still nearly held out for a draw.
Yeah, I thought that the 9 that were on the pitch in the second half did really well in the circumstance. Ali was still trying to support Lucas, and they was still trying to nick a goal if we could. I thought Bournemouth were really fucking average, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean,
11 against 11, you'd have won that game for sure.
but it wasn't like the ball was... I know I've seen the stats this morning. Fraser put in 24 crosses, I think. Most of them would have been the second half. We allowed them the ball into wide areas and said, go on, and if you win the header, fine, you can score. And that's eventually what the goal
when you
came from. But I was disappointed with them. They didn't really change. It kind of kept like Aki in midfield and stuff. And I thought, might as well get an extra forward in there. Just go with the 2 centre halves, get the full-backs high. They were worried about... I mean, Lucas, I thought, was brilliant up front. He never stopped. And he's a potential Son replacement for the weekend.
He's a really good player.
Very much depends on what happens in Amsterdam, etc. But if Lucas is going to play out of position at home in the final game of the season, I think, irrespective of form, he would be a consideration for me, Lucas.
Indeed. Anything from Bournemouth or not really? Let's roll on to next season now.
Just thought they were toilet.
They're not toilet overall.
No, I thought they were toilet on the day in terms of in the second half. They didn't really put the pressure on us and test us. Not only did we finish with 9 men, we've got like Wanyama at centre half, and it was a mess. We were there for the taking. They didn't put the pressure on that expected on us. Obviously, massive game tomorrow night.
Very big game.
We're losing.
Good luck.
Thanks, mate. I'll be leaving the house at 5 a.m.
There were quite a few Ajax fans in a pub on Sunday afternoon, was it, when they just won the cup final? All the days are blurring into one. When you get a bank holiday, it really messes with my days. I can't remember what day of the week it is. It feels like it should be a Monday. But they've only just gone and won their version of the FA Cup 4-0. So they're not in form or anything.
They are a very, very, very good side. Some of the kids in that team.
No mucking around, eh?
I mean, look, if they knock us out, which they're obviously heavily favourites to do so now, then I would hope they went on and won the final. That's great for football.
Of course.
I said that weeks ago when they beat Madrid. It's great to see them,
it's like
them
good old
doing
days
well
when
again.
Patrick Kluivert and stuff were coming through.
When it just gives everyone a bit of hope, right, outside the elite. I mean,
100%.
That if you'd have said someone that starts season Champions League final is going to be Ajax Spurs, we all fucking laughed at you.
Yeah.
Both teams have got there on merit and beat good sides to get there as well, by the way. This Ajax side is a super side. They, for a club like that, or like, I don't know, like a Kiev or a Russian side or a Belgian side to come through and do this, the only way that's ever going to happen again is you get that group of kids all come through together.
At the same time.
And it's happened for them.
Yeah. Talking of super sides, West Ham 3, Southampton 0. It's why I love being a West Ham fan. You never know what you're going to get.
I thought you lost your big game this weekend, 3-0 to Man City in a Women's Cup final, no?
Well, yeah, we were always going to lose that. I think they beat us 7-1 in the league or something. Right? They battered us in the league. And I think we fluked our way into the final versus Reading. Reading should have won that semi-final anyway, so it's done and dusted. Talk about the league game. Arnie's first goals for a while. Jack Wilshere surely is a Heung-min Son replacement now that he's got an assist under his belt.
Oh, stop it. He didn't even get the assist for that, did he?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, he
Wilshere,
did
Noble and Masuaku. Someone tweeted me about Masuaku as well. Masuaku is just the box of surprises. You never know what you're going to get with that guy. Good home win, though, 3-0. I mean, it's all well and good when it doesn't mean shit all now at the end of the season and stuff. I mean...
You have to apologise to our correspondent, FPL Addict, because he said last week about West Ham defensive.
Yeah, he did.
And I did take the piss.
Diop
I said he
picked
should
up a
know
big
better,
yes.
and he was
Frederick
right.
Scored. I mean, Fredericks he's got a future. He just needs to get a bit better defensively, but he's got pace, and he'll get up and down the wing. We extended Zabaleta's contract by another year, so that will be good to have Zabaleta there.
You like to keep the old man down there, don't you?
Yeah.
Who are you buying from Arsenal this summer? Because Welbeck's available, Jenkinson.
I'll have Welbeck. I don't want Jenkinson.
El Neni.
Don't want El Neni.
Mustafi.
Don't want Mustafi.
Nah,
I wouldn't mind Danny Welbeck, though.
Is Mustafi too good for you?
Yeah, no. If I'm going in, I think we would rather go to Chelsea and pick up Gary Cahill. I think I'd rather.
Yeah, I can see that.
I'd rather a bit of Gary Cahill. Gary Cahill, you're welcome. Danny Welbeck, more than welcome. Our physios are not busy enough as it is. So
and just to sum up, kind of game week 37, obviously the most out of form striker in the league, basically
bangs in 2 goals.
He's the only player who scored twice at the weekend.
Yes,
which kind of sums it up. Because I think at other times he'd have been in a lot of teams for a game like this.
Sure.
He scored twice in the same fixture last year as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
Southampton's team was obviously very interesting, having secured safety the previous week. I think Hassan Hootel had a look here at a few, didn't he?
Yeah.
He won't have another look.
You don't think so? It's being thrown into the fire a little
suddenly
bit.
Fraser Forster being back in the team was like fucking out of nowhere. He left Redmond out. He left Ward-Prowse out.
Yep.
So
Ward-Prowse came on.
I think importantly, those guys, Redmond, Ward-Prowse and that, they'll be back in the team at the weekend.
Yeah.
Importantly, and obviously they're another one. Again, Son to Redmond is a good move. I think this weekend. You look at the fixture, you look at his form. Even when he came on, he had a couple of efforts. Actually, Redmond made a bit of a difference in the second half. It certainly looked livelier with him in the team. But then if you make that move, Son to Redmond, I don't think you're going to be able to look away from the abyss of having that spare 3 million and wanting to fucking spend it somewhere else. So
I've got 2 free, so I'm not worried about that. Interesting now, last day of the season. I think West Ham are a consideration away to Watford, because Watford will have one eye on the FA Cup final now. And we're on a roll of wins, all 2 of them. But I think it's worth a consideration. Have you won any games in the last month?
I can't remember the last time we won back-to-back games. We don't even need to win games, do we? Don't matter. No. If I'd have known we qualified a month ago, that would have been handy.
Yeah, tell me about it. So I think West Ham's consideration away at Watford this weekend.
I think that's a fair shout. Actually, you're quite right that mentally, Watford players, none of them are going to want to pick up an injury.
No, it's only 6 days till the FA Cup final. So
yeah, so I think you might be
onto a bang. It'd be nice.
You might be onto something there.
Wolves 1, Fulham 0. So Fulham's mini revival got slapped back into shape.
Yeah, man, the chances Hodgson missed. Fuck yeah, now.
This guy, he's in my team for next season provisionally, without a doubt.
Yeah, price dependent. I do think it'll be.
I'd love it if he's a midfielder.
I'd be stunned. We said this last week. He'll be reclassified as a forward, but I think price wise, he might.
He's 6.5, 7. He's the equivalent of Jimenez this year.
If we talk about next year, how are we going to try and fit in the Robertsons, TAAs, Laportes, Deans, that seems to be what people are kind of already in their mind, all back 4. And if you're going to start moving towards a 4-4-2 or a 4-5-1 even possibly, but if you're 4-4-2, I think a lot of people will start with one sort of in the Vardy price range.
Yeah.
And hotter.
And a premium.
I can see that. Nah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Premium's all in midfield.
And at the back, yeah. These guys are going to cost a fortune. I really think Robertson will be 8 million. And I think like Van Dijk, 7.5. I think Laporte, TAA, they're going to be at least 7.
It's hurting me just hearing you say it, thinking about these prices.
I think Dean's going to be probably 6.
Yeah.
So, but then, you pick up the other guys. You start looking at people like, Will John Stones, would he drop to 5 million? Like, Kompany's been playing lately, hasn't he? I feel like he wanted that leadership in the team to get them over the line and kind of proven from last night. But John Stones will get back in that team.
Yeah.
He might be 5 million.
He was their
next
best
year.
value. Let's see. Let's talk about Cardiff 2, Palace 3. Cardiff now relegated, as expected. They did put up a reasonable fight of it over the games, but ultimately, quality is told. Lack of a real striker. As much as it's really sad what happened with Emiliano Sala and stuff, could that have made a difference, 10 to 12 goals? Quite possibly. But they did put up a fight of it, and for a club their size, fair play, they did all right. But ultimately, I mean, when you're looking at the scorers for Crystal Palace at the end, like Townsend, Zaha, Batshuayi, Townsend picks up another assist. You're thinking, like, they're not bad fringe players to have in your FPL squad, Crystal Palace, and there might be some bargains to be had there next season, some cheapies. If Zaha stays there, then they'll still win a lot of penalties and Milivojevic.
I saw Townsend on Goals on Sunday morning. And he was saying all the right things. I didn't get the vibe from him that Zaha was staying because he was getting questioned about it. And I think he was saying the right things, and he was saying, yeah, I get that. And well, no, he was committal and saying, like, I hope he stays, etc. But I don't know. It kind of, then it was leaning into, well, if he goes next year or if he goes in 5 years, or I don't know. It was kind of opening the idea. He basically said, look, guy's fucking ambitious, right?
Yeah, of course.
And I think he's at the stage where, I mean, he walks into Chelsea, Arsenal, Spurs, United. He'd walk into their teams. So these teams are going to be looking at him, right? Mm-hmm. And it's probably a good time to consider it for him. Yeah. As much as I don't like saying that and sort of tatting off other people's assets, and he'll cost a fuckload. And I think he only signed the contracts last summer. Mm-hmm. So, thing is, if he stays, with respect to Palace, what's the best he can achieve next year? have a good run the cup, win a cup maybe, but what's the chances?
Yeah.
They're not going to push for top 6, are they?
No.
There's too many. They're not good enough. So I think he could be the real big sort of Premier League side move in the summer. I think there's a few foreign clubs be looking at him as well, by the way.
Liverpool 3, Newcastle 2. They just keep winning.
Did you watch the game?
I didn't get a chance to watch
You
it.
were absolutely mashed by then, yeah?
Yeah. No, we were getting ready to go out by then. We were out by then, dinner and that.
Much like Leicester last night, I mean, full credit to Newcastle.
Not just for this game, but the last sort of quarter of the season, Newcastle have been A-OK.
As like a lot of last season as well. Unlike
I did
last
fancy
season,
Perez as maybe a replacement for Firmino at one point, but
well, Perez would fall into, if I go sort of Son Salah, he's in that bracket.
where you'd end up.
If you look at the players in that price bracket, Perez is the form horse.
By far.
No doubt about it. His effort when he hit the bar was terrific as well. But Rondon was absolutely brilliant. He really did cause them handfuls. He always plays well against Spurs. But he give them Liverpool centre-halves as tough a game as they've had possibly all season, mate. He was a menace. I thought Atsu did well. I spoke previously about obviously Almiron being out would weaken them, but actually he did okay and was quite direct in his running. They give Liverpool a proper game, and it got to the stage you just thought, no, they're done here, mate. But fair game, they pulled it out again, didn't they? It was much like sort of the Spurs game and the Everton game in December, where you thought like, nah, it ain't happening for them. They might even get beat here.
Yeah.
And they pulled it out. I think they'd gone about 20-odd minutes without a shot, and it was into like the last 5 minutes. And old McDonald's himself, Lascelles,
Yeah.
with the winning goal. It was a brilliant watch. That Newcastle-Liverpool crowd was up for it. I like that Saturday night games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully
If it's a
see
big
more.
game, I don't want to see two bottom 6 teams play at that time on a Saturday night. If it's a game like that with a proper atmosphere, yeah, I like that.
Okay, let's move on to the Sunday games. Chelsea 3, Watford 0. I was just looking at David Luiz's stats. 3 goals, 2 assists, 15 clean sheets. He might be a consideration for me next season. You had him at the start of the season. Do you regret not holding him through a little bit? Not really?
Not really,
I
no.
thought he was a good asset. Buy and hold asset.
I mean, I regret not having him this weekend when he's fucking finished a week as the top point scorer.
15
But
points.
yeah, I think he was a good pick at the start of the season at 5.5. He's another one. He ain't going to be 5.5 starting next season.
You think he'll be up in price?
He'll be 6.
158 points.
He'll be 6.
All these little $500,000 are going to add up.
Yeah.
Little increases here and there.
And that's why I said, like, take someone like Stones, you're going to have to find something the other way. So another example might be Joe Gomez, who I think he's probably still, I know Matip and Lovren have had the runs while he's been
First
injured,
choice centre half.
but I think he'll start next season. He'll start with Van Dijk next season. He might be sort of still in that sort of 5, I think it's 5.5, is he now, Gomez, or 5?
5.
So you're looking at people like that, Gomez or Stones, for example, because you ain't going to be able to accommodate them all, I'm telling you. So you'll once you see the price, you start seeing Gomez at 5 or 5.5 or Stones at 5. These guys are going to tempt you. You need to choose the right ones, right? 'Cause you know Gomez is never going to match up to the numbers of the other defenders. But will it save you, right? I stuck with David Luiz as a perfect example against Alonso when Alonso was firing earlier, and everybody's going, "Oh, you got to pay the extra for Alonso." When long run,
No, you don't.
no, but that's not always the case, right?
No.
If Alonso had played nearly every game during the
If
season, he probably would
every
have finished
shot
on more.
that Alonso hit the post with
Well, exactly,
had gone
right?
in, he'd be fucking on double digits in terms of goals and stuff. He went through that phase week in, week out where I was holding him, and every week was like we delayed it another week just because he'd hit the post or had a chance or a free kick that went close and saved by the keeper. Every week it was close enough that you're like, I've got to ride it out another week. In the end, you end up with fuck all at the end of it. So, I don't know.
They'll want to finish third,
Yeah.
Chelsea, because of the team behind them in fourth. They'll want to finish that off, but it's a tough game for them at Leicester at the weekend. I think we
Yeah,
know
I mean,
that.
Chelsea have made it there because of their early start to the season, really. There was a point
Well, they didn't
5,
get
6,
beat
7
till they come to us end
Exactly.
of November.
So that was what set them up for a top four finish. Their form after that has been very patchy, but but they did start well, and it goes to show, like, you think now these are the crunch time games, but putting the effort in early in the season makes it that little bit easier.
Jesus, I mean, if Spurs weren't on 60 points 3 months ago, we'd be absolutely crucified, wouldn't
difficult,
we?
isn't it? Hazard's last home league game, apparently, kind of, maybe.
Yeah, to be honest, I saw a lot of that. People were banging on about
him saying bye.
Get him in because this is his last game. I'm going, sure they're playing again Thursday, but
yeah, league game.
I understood he'll play in the second leg, won't he?
Of course.
Especially now, obviously, that Sunday doesn't matter. They'll go full strength to finish Frankfurt
they need
off
to
on
get
Thursday, won't they?
They've got the away goal, but they still need to finish the job.
They won't have any problems. I don't think Arsenal will either, by the way.
No.
I
mean,
do
3-1
think that'll be
win
the final.
is comfortable for them. But so Hazard picked up a double assist, and I'm quite happy with that because I've kept faith with him over the last few weeks. He didn't have a double, and I stuck with him throughout, and he's returned in the last 6 or 7 weeks, and has done well. So Eden Hazard, decent player.
He does look like he's off, though.
Yeah.
It'd be very interesting to see what happens there next year. Obviously, Pulisic is coming in. You presume he'll go straight into the team as a new signing. He'll come in overpriced, and I don't know what that'll be. It'll be sort of 8.5 or 9. It'll be overpriced, and you should avoid. He's still a young player. That's a problem area. I'll tell you who's done really well from lately is Loftus-Cheek.
RLC. I was just going to say, where we're looking to some of the promoted clubs or some of the lower half of the table clubs for bargains like Palaces and whatever, you never know. Like Hudson-Odoi and RLC might be priced reasonably fairly.
Hudson-Odoi might not play again this year, mate.
This calendar year.
He's fucked, isn't he?
Fuck that then. Ruben Loftus-Cheek might come in at 6 million, 5.5, 6 million. And he's not a bad shot at that price.
Yeah.
When he plays, he always puts a shift in.
I think
I want to buy him. At
There'll
West Ham.
certainly be an argument next year in terms of this balancing of this pricing, of rather than going maybe like a 7.5 and a 4.5, going for 2.6s.
Yeah.
To know which way's sort of right. I think that might be a nicer balance at the start of the season in terms of. I think there'll be a lot of spreading funds early next season because of the prices that will be incoming.
My strategy next year, which I'm starting to think about, is going to revolve very much around making as few transfers as possible.
You say that?
Yeah, I really think I want to. I want to.
Is this why you burnt a transfer?
I want to. Yeah, I'm getting myself warmed up for not making any transfers. I really want to lean towards tried and trusted. So over the course of an entire season, who's consistent, and then not chop and change every week. That's what I'm looking at, which doesn't lend itself to new talent and players that haven't got much track record in FPL. But maybe if 12 of my squad are untouchables, so to speak, I'm only playing around with 2 or 3 positions on a week in, week out basis. So.
I don't actually think you're alone in that fault.
I mean, look at Manchild. He's 100 points behind me. But that's only opened up in the last 3 game weeks where he didn't know what the fuck he was doing with his chips. Take chips. He's shouting in the corner. Tactical decision. But take chips out of it and we'd be way closer. We'd probably only be about 15 points between us, 10, 15 points if you took chips out of the game. And he probably still hasn't played his triple captain. Manchild, you played your triple captain? No. So you play your triple captain this week, and he could do all right.
Yeah, your podcast place is safe. It was about 90 points now.
100 now.
100.
Round 100 between us. But take chips out of the equation, and my man's made 15 transfers the whole season or something like that. There we go. So that's where my strategy's going to lean towards.
Say as well, he's got about 3 million in the bank as well.
Oh, he's got 2.2 in the bank going into the... And he's had it there for like fucking... You can tell he's an Indian.
Well, he's been captaining fucking bouncy castle every week as well.
If you keep money in the bank, you're not getting interest on it, just so you know. You can't then reinvest it.
There's no inheritance on that, mate.
Nah, not at all. They should do that. Maybe that's a new feature in the game. Like if you leave $1 million in the bank every week, it goes up by 0.1.
10% more?
Yeah, 10%.
Oh, what an idea.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah, there's problems with that, and yeah, you get people trying to scam it earlier, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I'd leave 5 million in the bank for the first 10
5 million?
weeks.
Leave about 20 million.
For the first 10 game weeks. End up with 115 million.
Team of the week, game week 1 every week only costs about 70 million.
Yeah. You're right. It's an interesting analysis you did. earlier in the season, bringing it onto something a little more sensible, where you took the 10 most highly owned players in game week 1 and what their price was in game week 5, and none of them had gone up, if I remember.
Oh, we looked at FPL
Yeah.
Canal helps me with that. We looked at I think
The most highly owned players in game
it
week 1.
It was all the players. I can't remember what week we did it. It might have been around about 15, 16. We looked at all the players that had ownership of 20% or more when the game started.
Yeah, and how much they'd gone up by.
And I think there were 12 or 13 of them, and only 2 of them had gone up in price from the start of the season. Yeah.
So jumping, you don't need to necessarily jump on these players early because you're worried about price rise.
One was Aguero.
Yeah, KDB was in there, but obviously he got cropped.
Yeah, no, I think
Salah.
I think the other one, Trippier had gone up maybe 0.1 or something.
Right.
But everybody else had like gone down in price. And I
All
said
the
to you
same.
at the time that one of the things, and this is still the case for me, that I would seriously be looking at differentials early next season.
Earlier rather than later. It's definitely a fun strategy to
Yeah.
look at. Let's talk about Huddersfield, Manchester United. So United won up, and I'm thinking I've got Rashford, and he's playing. Easy street now. They'll bang in 2 or 3 or 4 more.
So something very unusual happened for me on Sunday. I didn't watch the football.
Ah, interesting.
So me and Planet FPL wifey and Planet FPL son. That's not a handle yet, by the way.
There's going to be people that want to be your child that are going to...
If someone starts
James,
that's
please
wrong.
adopt me.
If you start at Planet FPL son, you are instantly getting reported, mate.
Use a profile picture of Heung-Min's son.
We went round to my parents and we had a bit of early food and that. And my dad went, I don't want to watch that fucking Man United shit. And I went, well, that's fine because they'll win easy anyway. And I'm sitting there thinking after the day before, I'm thinking, well, if they win, they can still finish above us. They'll only be like 2 points behind. They can still do us. I'm like, well, I know they're going to win, so let's fuck that off. So I see they scored early. I was like, it's definitely not going on now.
Game over now at
Forget
this point.
it.
Rashford just picked me up 1 goal.
And then
we're good
I happened
go.
to be flicking through and I saw that Jonas Lossell got an assist at home to Manchester United for the 2nd consecutive season. Thought I'd tweet that out. But I still assumed United would go and win. But at that point, I was like, don't stick telly on. No, none of that. Leave it off. This is going okay. Yeah. So we left it off. So didn't watch the game. Watched the highlights afterwards. United have obviously been absolutely crucified in the media.
I mean, there was a half an hour debate on Talk Sport this morning as I was driving in between Dean Saunders, and I think it was Danny Higginbottom. And one was arguing that the players weren't fit enough, and the other was that they are fit, they just don't give a shit. And it was like, you think someone like Mourinho can't get a team fit? You think that professional footballers can't get fit enough? It's bullshit. They are fit. That's what Dean Saunders was saying. It's just, they just don't care and they're not putting the effort in.
Well, no, I don't know. Look at the change in Southampton, right? For example, in terms of, even if you look at, take even say Burnley, this was assessed the other week, like their running numbers from when they got themselves in trouble, their running numbers went up massively. And those sort of things do make a difference.
Well, hard work makes a difference. Who are the 2 hardest working teams in the league?
Liverpool and City.
And there's no surprise then.
No.
Who's the best pressing team in the world? Barcelona. The way they press and defend, right? They are they fitter or are they working harder?
Both.
Okay.
Both.
I
mean, look,
have
at
an
the
answer
higher
to this
level, you
debate.
should have a greater
Both.
elite of fitness coaches and all that as well, right? All pay. If you're the best
Manchester
fitness
United.
coach in the league and you're at Huddersfield, you're going to get poached, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to go. It's like a player. You're going to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
What I do want to say on United, Gary Neville said last night that the squad reminded him of the mess that Pochettino inherited at Spurs. Actually, I'd go further back than that. It reminds me of the mess that we were in when we kept changing fucking managers.
What, post Martin Yol?
And before.
Okay.
I mean, we weren't...
Gross and all that.
Yeah, let's not go that far back.
Okay.
We weren't shy to change managers, right? It was always the manager's problem,
Vilas
right?
Boas and all that.
Yeah.
That kind of age.
Well, the point is with those appointments, a lot of the appointments sort of pre-Joel really in sort of the early noughties, the appointments were bad. And then, Ramos was bad. AVB was bad. It didn't fit in with the ethos of the club or the way we wanted to play or anything like that.
You went for names.
Mourinho had to go. I'm hearing a lot of people go, it weren't Mourinho. Trust me, Mourinho had to fucking go. He lost that dressing room.
How many weeks were we talking about how he had to go?
And
he was done and dusted.
2 months ago, they're all sitting there saying, we got to give him the job. And to be fair, we're all sitting there going, he deserves the job, Solskjaer, doesn't he? It wasn't an argument. When he got the job, everybody kind of went, yeah, fair enough, deserves that.
Yeah.
He's gone to fuck since, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, really gone to fuck. To the point that if they're 10 points adrift by the end of September, he'll be sacked. But they're miles off winning the league. Like, they could go and spend 300 million this year. They won't win the league next year.
No.
Too many problems in that squad.
Okay. How is it Solskjaer or is it the players?
It's the whole club. Whether he's good enough or not, time will
tell.
You got to give him a chance, haven't you?
100%, yeah.
You've appointed him now. What are you going to do? I mean, I would say that he needs all of at least next season. Mm-hmm. And I think if United finish 4th next year at the moment, that's probably a success. Because Chelsea will improve. I'm on serious. Chelsea will improve. Spurs will improve. Arsenal will improve.
Yeah. That's
how I feel. And they probably will as well. But I don't know if it'd be enough because they've got bigger problems than the others. You can't be in a position. It fell on their lap again yesterday, or Sunday, sorry. I'm getting confused now. Where go and win the game and fuck, they'd have been right back in it. To have gone into the weekend 2 points behind Spurs with Arsenal fucking up as well and actually knowing they'll beat Cardiff and knowing that could have been theirs and they can't get the job done at Huddersfield. It's bad, man.
Yeah. My only thought is that exactly the same things have been happening to Tottenham and Arsenal around as well. It goes to show it's hard to win games of football when the pressure's on. Like, it's not just that Man United have been fucking up. Everyone's been fucking up in the last 3-4 weeks.
Yeah, not everyone else played Huddersfield.
No, I mean, Huddersfield...
In fact, we did. We beat them 4-0.
Yeah.
Which feels like the last time we won a game. I'm sure it wasn't, but it feels like it. Yeah. And it's not to be disrespectful to Huddersfield, but it's been so bad for them, right? Even the manager there, he's just trying out players for next season and that, different systems and that. United on a series for FPL this week. You go for Pogba or Rashford and now you're brave. I mean, if you've got them, you've got to sit with them. You can't take them out. It's the same as what I said before this week. You can't take them out at home away to Huddersfield. You can't take them out now at home to Cardiff. But
doesn't fill you with joy,
Son to Pogba is the most obvious transfer, and I don't think a lot of people will do it.
No.
And you might find a lot of these guys like Greenwood's, is it Chong, is it? The fella with the fucking Fellaini hair replacement.
Yep.
They might all start at the weekend. He might just go, fuck it. Because he said again at the weekend, didn't he? Although I feel like he said it a few times now, Solskjaer. A lot of these players are finished. They're done here. And they seem to be playing the next week. So
well, let's wait and
that
see.
United team this weekend is very unpredictable.
Let's talk about Arsenal and Brighton.
I want to talk about their manager as well, because
you tweeted me probably the best AFTV rant ever.
If you haven't seen this fucking guy, my weekend went into despair the moment Sonny got sent off at Bournemouth, and then my weekend reached its peak when I saw Arsenal fan also called Sonny outside the Emirates. It is the best Arsenal fan TV video to date. Yeah, it was sent to me, and even the wife, she was pissing herself.
It really did descend into like everything's wrong with Arsenal. Like, there was nothing good that he had to say. It was the players were crap, managers crap, boards crap. Then I felt like he was going to descend into everything else. Our stadium shit. The seats are not good. Our logo's crap. The colour of our kit's wrong. Like, it just felt like he was mad about everything.
Whatever poor Robbie put up was wrong, weren't
Yeah.
it? The line I liked was when he was saying about Ramsey, and he was saying, I feel bad like the fans left, he's been there 10 years. And then he just suddenly went, and he was fucking shit as well anyway.
I mean, Ramsey is not shit. Ramsey's been a good servant to that club, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's still off on his bike though, isn't he?
Well, 400,000 a week. I'd leave you, mate, for 400,000 a week.
Yeah, me too, mate.
Yeah, so I don't blame him for going to Juve.
I tweeted Sunday night on the series because #Emery out was trending Sunday night. And I feel like, oh, fucking hell, we've been here before. And I did tweet out and say, look, this is not a piss-taking tweet. On a serious, he absolutely needs another year.
Anyone who's tweeting Emery out is mad.
But a lot of them are already there. And I think one of the reasons they're there is obviously this run of the 4 games. I mean, they basically only had to fucking win one of them. This run of the 3 defeats and then the draw at home to a Brighton team have been pathetic for 6 weeks or so. And obviously seeing Spurs fuck up, and every week they're going in thinking, we win this week, we've got Spurs. We win this week, we've got Spurs. Every week they're fucking falling over themselves. So I think because of the rivalry, that's added to the fucking problem. And the fact that, I mean, look, if they win the Europa League final and get in the Champions League, that is it. The season is a success for them.
Yeah.
And they've got a trophy on the board, right?
100%.
I think won a European trophy for since, what was it?
96, I think.
94, I think, was it when they beat Parma? Don't sniff at it. All right, we all belittle the Europa League, but when you get to the end of it, fuck you.
If you win it,
go
you're
and
in the Champions
win it,
League.
right?
Yeah,
and there is the prize at the end of it now as well,
100%.
right? So I think everybody's probably in agreement that Arsenal's squad is not good enough, really, to be in the top 4 at the moment. And at the start of the season, none of us really thought they'd particularly get that close.
I don't know, you know. I feel like their squad is has bits of real quality in it, it's gelled together with like jelly, wobbly bits of crap. But there are players in there that would get into other top 4, top 6 squads. Your Aubameyang and Lacazette are good strike partnership. But then they've got players around them like Ozil and Iwobi who are not good enough. Then now you've got Socrates and what have you, Kolasinac, decent players held together with like Mustafi and Nacho Monreal.
I think, yeah, but you're saying that they're decent players, right? That squad needs a massive overhaul. The way I look at it, I think Arsenal's season, there's a lot of comparisons with Pochettino's first season at Spurs in terms of it was a little bit sluggish for a while and they were drawing a lot of games and they went unbeaten for quite a while. And then suddenly they had these home performances which were really good, like the 4-2 against Spurs, 2-0 Chelsea, and then later the 2-0 against United. These were fiery games, sort of as good as they could play, it felt like.
And also in those games, you'd say tactically,
exactly,
Emery
very
was good, especially even the United game.
And obviously early in the season, he was ripping the team apart at half time, weren't he? Going, if this ain't changing. And they kept winning. Yeah. They kept winning games in the second half.
Yeah. And Emery was getting all the credit then.
Inevitably, and this happened with Spurs in Pochettino's first season, when you take a bunch of lazy pricks like that and ask them to up their fucking intensity, to double it basically, guess what's going to happen come April, May?
Burnout.
Exactly. I'm doing this with the Europa as well, and they're playing well in Europe.
Yeah.
It's just
3-1 win at Valencia, shit, right? You can't argue.
Not Napoli, I beat at home and away, mate.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't argue with it. Napoli are the second best side in Italy. So I think, he deserves another season, and I think he'll have worked out now where he wants to go in terms of if he wants to play change between a 4 and a 3 like Pochettino now does regularly. It's all right, but understanding sort of his core group of players. There ain't many players there, bar I think really the front 2 that he would go, I definitely want you to stay.
Torreira, Xhaka.
They haven't massively bought. Like Guendouzi's a kid and he's taking some pillaring lately, but he's what, 20?
19 or 20.
No one again. He's another one. Start the season. No one expect him to be round the team.
No.
All right. Torreira has really faded second half of the season.
But he's
in
had
the
some
first
good
half of the season, brilliant. Socrates has done okay. Leno's getting better.
He has.
But what? He hasn't spent anything really.
No, nothing big.
Right, so let him try and get his own fucking team in, and then judge him in 12 months. Is my opinion.
My opinion is stick with him. Nothing good happens from chopping and changing managers when they're making progress. It might feel like 2 steps forward, 1 step back, but it's a different club than a year ago under Wenger for sure.
Yeah, I just feel a lot.
Because a lot of people will say, look, we're the same league position, same points, same shit as we were under Wenger.
The problem with
why did we
Arsenal as well is, and obviously a lot of our listeners will follow us and things through Twitter, etc. Is it's not necessarily the real picture what you see on Twitter and Arsenal fan TV. Like they're a fucking hysterical bunch, right? And they don't listen to 3-5 Who seriously. He will talk logically. That's why I had to get him as correspondent. He's the only one I've ever met that's fucking logical in the way he reasons things.
Yeah.
They need a bit of patience. They can still go and win that Europa. I think they will, by the way. I think in a one-off game they'd have too much intensity for Chelsea with 10
Yeah.
games break. And it could still finish a very good season for them. And if you're looking for premium forwards this weekend, do look at Aubameyang and Lacazette, depending on the game Thursday. I mean that. Because they will go to Burnley, they will score goals, they will win the game.
Interesting. Let's talk about the last game before we get into some Twitter questions and usual public service announcements and all that stuff. Manchester City won. Leicester
Sorry,
0.
just one thing.
Go on.
Basuma laughing.
I haven't seen it.
Man City Leicester.
Yeah.
That was an iconic moment last night.
What, Kompany scoring or your City winning?
The whole goal thing and who scored it, etc. That was up there with all-time great Premier League moments, I would say. If unless you support Liverpool or Man United, if you didn't have a little bit of fair fucking play, mate, because how many times have even you and I sat in the last 2 years and gone, this fucking poor prick's injured again?
Yeah.
Like, 'cause he's been such a great player for them.
Yeah.
And actually, he's become in the last year or two quite cynical in terms of his fouling. Another bad tackle in the first half last year. He knows his legs are going. He's played on his experience the last few games, and actually he started the tempo for them in the first half, distributing the ball out to Bernardo, and it was a goal that will never happen again. In terms of, I don't think he would even shoot again. he just felt it in a moment, and it happened.
I'm in a couple of WhatsApp groups. One football banter boys, or whatever it is, and literally there was a debate going on: luck or skill. Did he mean it? Didn't he mean it?
He's just
Luck
levered
or
it,
not?
and
But
it's
who
just gone in
cares?
the top corner, mate.
It doesn't matter at this point, right? The thing I like about Kompany, because I watched that All or Nothing documentary as well earlier in the season. It seems he's not a Billy Big Bollocks.
No,
He doesn't
you could
feel-
listen to him.
Yeah, I think he still would drive a Golf to work and just like whatever it is, And he does a lot of community work and stuff. He knows where he's come from, put it that way, because he's been there through the thin and the thick. So I got time for Kompany. Great goal. I think this season I respect City's league win if it happens. Touch wood, it's not happened yet. More than last season because they've ground out a lot of results.
It's not that, it's the challenge, isn't it?
They've been fighting on way more fronts this season. Not way more, but they have had more to deal with. And they could end up still doing domestic treble, which has never been done before. And they're going to end up on 98 points, 19.
Well,
whatever
only
points.
too shy last season. So was it at Newcastle they lost? They've won
Yeah.
every game since.
Yeah.
I mean, if you'd have said to them, the following morning, you're going to have to be in a position where you win every single game.
Yeah.
If you'd have said that the morning after, right, they've got to win all 14.
Yeah.
On what you'd seen at that Newcastle game, you wouldn't have thought that was possible.
You remember earlier in the season, I said I think they'll do 100 points again and smash the 100 goals as well. Well, the goals is done and dusted, right? They've killed it in terms of how many goals they've scored, and they're only going to end up 2 points shy of the 100. Any game could have flipped that. They are a machine.
And so have Liverpool been as well.
Which
in
is
terms
why-
of- the only thing Liverpool haven't had in comparison to City is that real run of like this 13 wins in a row, which we all think will be 14 come the end of Sunday. Liverpool haven't had that. They've had the odd draw. They might have won
Yeah.
6-7 in a row.
They had
and then
3 draws in a row,
And
didn't they?
actually, at this top level, that's what's the difference, because while City have won those 14 games, Liverpool have had, and they weren't particularly bad results, but the draw at United, the draw at Everton, the draw with Leicester, the draw at West Ham, and that's what's pulled it back around. I think Liverpool this season, the damaging thing for Liverpool would be if City go on and win on Sunday is you look at them and think, can they do any better than that next season? And instantly you just feel like the answer will be no.
You've got, having a season that good and then ending trophyless. The other thing that they played this morning on TalkSport as I was driving in, you probably wouldn't have heard this. They have a phone-in show on Sundays or Monday night or whatever it was. I'll find the link to this so that you can tweet it out so the listeners can hear. Did you see the Liverpool fan that phoned in?
Oh, I have seen it. He wanted a trophy for
He wanted
second.
a trophy for second. And the guy's like, what should you call it? And he goes, I don't know, just Premier League trophy.
Yeah,
You're like,
share it.
but you didn't win. But yeah, there's a very small part of me that understands where he's coming from. It's the pain of, fuck me, we've just gone and put 97 points on the board and walked away with nothing.
Yeah, but you've also been in a position for quite a while now where you've always been behind for weeks now. if you consider City have had the game in hand. So
Yeah.
it was always City's to lose almost for a number of weeks now, probably since Liverpool drew at Everton. So they would have known that they needed City to slip, and every week they'd have gone into City games thinking, they ain't slipping.
Yeah,
They
and
ain't
quite
slipping.
often they've played before City as well, so they've been able to put this
Put the
pressure on a little bit.
Yeah.
Tough,
That has
tough.
happened
But
a
that
few
guy
times.
phoning in, just saying that they should get a trophy was pretty funny.
He did, was it Goldstein said to him, do you want a trophy for losing the Champions League semi-final as well?
Yeah,
He was
semi-final
like,
trophy.
yeah, I'll have one for that as well. Well, we won it 5 times.
Yeah, he just literally jumped to the only defence.
He had to go down
It's
and we
like-
won it 5 times route.
I reckon the most Liverpool fans have like just a playing card in their back pocket that says we won it 5 times, so they just pull out every time there's a debate.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm starting a can of worms here.
on a serious for the two at the weekend. A company actually, like if you've got a budget problem and he's 5.2,
Cheap.
if you ain't got free City, just stick him in for the weekend.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm well happy going into this game now, the final game, thinking, oh, clean sheet at Brighton. Yeah, I like my chance of that. I got 2 of them. So Company would be a good shout if you can go like Duffy to Company or something. If you've got problems this week, like you're looking at, say, you don't want to play your Wolves players now they're away to Liverpool. I think like, you can look at, or Bolly to Company's not that far. You can look at these sort of things. You'll be all right for the weekend. I don't think Liverpool will beat Wolves on Sunday.
I'm playing. You just said if you don't want to play your Wolves against Liverpool, I'm playing triple Wolves against Liverpool this weekend.
I just
Johnny Jota, Jimenez,
I just got a
mate.
sneaky, particularly and fair game to Liverpool fans because they're like a club that they believe the impossible is possible and all that, right? But if City score after 5-10 minutes,
Yeah.
which City haven't been doing in games recently,
Yeah.
and I imagine they'll have to wait a while at the weekend again. But if they do score early, if they score before Liverpool score, you know that's fucking deflating, right?
Yeah.
You've got that feeling, I'm relying on Bright. Oh, and my team's got a score as well. And Wolves in these big games this year, man.
But then I think also what happens with Liverpool against Barcelona, if they somehow came through the Barca game, they're going to be on cloud 9. Then they're going to beat Wolves. They're just going to be buzzing if that happens. You talk about Liverpool being the club that believe the impossible is there. You heard the omen about obviously Alisson, right? Last season, Alisson was in goal for Roma. What happened to Roma at the new camp? They lost 4-1. What happened at home? They won 3-0 and went through on away goals.
Right.
And now he's in goal for Liverpool. So I think they're hopeful.
You know, Alisson
that,
also lost to Liverpool in the semi-final, right?
Oh, well, there you go. That's why they bought him. But yeah, looking for omens in anything and everything that you can possibly find.
You do clutch at straws with omens. Yeah, I've got a few Spurs ones if we beat Ajax tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'll be leaving out my Wolves guys.
I'm
I
playing
would
mine.
have thought I might play Jimenez or Jota. I might play one.
Jota has had
But
more chances.
when I
than-
say I think Wolves will get something at the weekend, I don't base that on anything. Put it this way, I'm still thinking of buying Salah, right?
Yeah.
Because I know what's logical. I've just got a feeling that the game might
Football's
pan out
football.
in a certain way that Wolves will get something at the weekend. Be funny as fuck if neither of them won.
That would be
That
two
would
draws.
be hilarious.
I would laugh. There we go. Let's wrap up and give out some public service announcements.
I got one that you don't know about yet as well.
Oh yeah, let's do that, and then we will we'll move on to some Twitter questions, shall we?
We had a little chat at lunchtime this afternoon. I completely forgot to mention it to you. We have a new correspondent again, sir.
Oh, we do we?
We do.
So make that the first public service announcement. Tell me.
Introduce to the listeners Planet FPL podcast exclusive. I'm liking these podcast exclusives.
Nice. Tell me about it.
At Foxy FPL is our new Leicester City correspondent.
Nice.
To show that we will give opportunities to people in the community, he currently has under 100 followers. If by the time I go back and re-listen to this podcast, he's got under 100 followers, I'm going to have to be having a word with his community. He's local lad in Leicester, has grown up in Leicester.
Fair play.
He told me he's done a bit of modelling in his time, so I don't know if people want to...
Okay, is that why Foxy FPL?
Yeah, maybe. When I hit up
thinking
for that.
I was the only handsome man in
his
FPL.
rank at the moment, I believe, is top 10k. I think he's ranked about
you can
7,500.
I don't like anybody higher than me.
So it's just another one to fuck up the correspondent league next season. Yeah, look, he's going to be working with us on some things. Leicester,
Nice.
unfortunately, are not very well represented in the community for whatever reason. You would have
It's
thought
not the
there'd have
biggest
been
city in the world.
Well, no,
is it?
you would have
So-
thought there'd have been loads of got on the back end of obviously winning the
2-3 years
title
ago,
and
yeah.
stuff, and it's just not many in the community that do. This guy's keen. He's on board, and I'm looking forward to working with him.
Exciting.
And on that note, there are 2 other positions we are looking to fill.
Tell me.
And I'm going to give the listeners the first shot at applying for this. And they're 2 big ones. We are looking for a new Chelsea correspondent.
Chelsea, blue is the colour. Right?
Fuck off, Suj.
Yeah.
And
Chelsea,
we are also
Chelsea.
looking for a new Liverpool correspondent.
Ooh. 2 big ones.
I will, when I get back from Amsterdam, start looking for a new correspondent from those 2 clubs. I haven't done it as yet.
Gives everybody 48 hours
I feel
to,
that with these 2, that with Chelsea and Liverpool, everybody knows the gist generally anyway, right? I want someone to be passionate about it, who's happy to contribute, be a member of the community, happy, be keen to be a writer for us as well.
And if you've been a model in your past
If
career,
you've been a
that will
model
help.
in your past career, that will help. So I'm going to put it open to the listeners first.
Yeah.
So if you want to respond to the podcast when I've tweeted it out,
Yeah.
which if
Why
you're
don't you
listening to
just
this,
put
it will
2
have-
tweets out? One that says Liverpool, one that says Chelsea.
Just-
People can tag the right
just-
people in the right tweet. Or
Oh,
whatever.
I'll know who they support. Just respond to the podcast tweet saying I'm interested,
Yeah, fair play. There you go. James is in
Unless-
charge of all that.
and
so.
let's work on it from now.
Okay, let's put it out there. Leicester Chelsea correspondents. If you FPL community, if you know anyone that you think would be good, why don't you tag them and let them know about it if they don't listen to the show. Otherwise, do tag people in, and it'll be interesting. Looking forward to that. My public service announcement, and then we'll come back to you, and you can tell everybody.
You ain't running another fucking marathon, are you?
Nah, you can tell everybody about Planet FPL Live in a second. No, I'm not. I'm running the Bournemouth half marathon actually in September, but it's not for charity. It's just to get my legs going again.
Okay.
Yeah, nice stroll by the sea. The Haven House, it leads in though to the Haven House Charity Mini League. 2 weeks to go, well, only 1 week to go now. For those that will be regular listeners, you'll know that I ran the marathon last weekend. No, 2 weekends ago. For Haven House Children's Hospice, which is a local charity. Hundreds of people from the FPL community donated. Everybody that did was sent a code to join our Haven House Mini League. £10 a week for the winner, 25 quid overall.
Which you were told last week, no one's taking your money.
Nah, well, we'll figure something out. I'm going to send them Amazon vouchers via their email address, and that way they can't refuse them.
They might just send it back.
I don't know. This week's winner, DJ Newton.
Oh, he was tweeting me last night going, I think I finished second. I was like, what are you banging on about?
65 points for this game week.
I think
So
I'm first.
DJ Newton came
65
first for
points
this
was
game
the
week.
highest.
Correct.
That's fucking shit.
It was pretty bad. However, Dan, FPL Chancer, still riding high, top of the league by
What's
a
he
handful
scored
of
this week?
points. This week, I don't know off the top of my head.
Oh, I'll have a look.
You have a look.
You carry on.
But he's topped 300 points in the last 3 game weeks overall. So the last 3 game weeks since we've had the mini league, he's averaging
He's
over
still got
100 points.
56, Dan.
Yeah, well above the average. Flying high is Dan. So he's well on track. And he's actually coming to Planet FPL Live. So what we'll do, if he wins the overall manager of the 4 game week season, is present him with a massive novelty check.
Okay, now he's
We'll
got
get
a
one of those-
22-point lead.
We'll get that big fuck off check for 25 quid made out to Dan. Then he's got to take it down to the bank and try and pay it in somehow.
I just checked your steward's inquiry because your man said to me he was second, but yeah, I think that is the highest.
Yeah.
Shout out Aaron Boyle was the only other one with more than 60.
There you go.
As the one gooner did do well this week. Anyway, move on.
So, and where will we give Dan, if he wins, touch wood, his £25 prize at Planet FPL Live, which is, tell everybody.
State of it. Saturday, May the 18th. Editor's Tap, London.
12 days away now.
Yeah, we've actually probably got to do something for this.
Yeah,
probably.
we do.
We're going to fucking blag it like we always do.
Exactly. So, yeah, Saturday, 18th of May, it is FA Cup final day. Man City, Watford. So we've got a live podcast recording between 2 and 4 p.m. at the Editor's Tap, which is kind of Holborn, Chancery Lane, Central London. If you get on the tube, you'll find it. So doors open at 1, 2 till 4, podcast recording, special guests, a bit of other fun and games that we've got planned. At 5 o'clock, the game kicks off, so we can all have a beer. Over 50 people booked already.
Nice.
Can you believe it?
No, I can't.
We've got
fucking stupid.
We've got a cap of 100 people. So for those that are considering booking, it's a £5, but that only basically covers your free drink on arrival. We just need to regulate the number of people that we get in so that we don't get overfilled, which I don't think will happen. We'll be all right. But yeah, it is a £5, which you've got to book online. If you are free on that day, fancy meeting the FPL community. We know loads of people from the FPL community that are coming down that are really active on Twitter and really good people to hang out with. So it'll be a real good, nice afternoon, and it'll always be fun and games with you and me involved.
We will definitely make a laugh of it.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. There's going to be some shenanigans. There's going to be piss-taking of Manchild's team.
Manchild's going to be
There's
involved.
piss-taking of your team. There's going to be piss-taking of my team.
Manchild mansplains
There
his team.
are... Genuinely, I don't want to give names away yet. There are some brilliant people from this community that are going to be coming along.
We've got celebrities coming as well.
Who's that?
Harry Kane's coming.
He's not coming.
Gareth Southgate's coming.
Kanye West.
None of these. Kanye West is not coming.
No. But the best bit of come. We'll have a laugh. We'll do the podcast.
Yeah, it'll be a nice way to spend an afternoon.
Don't treat life
in
too
the FA
seriously. If you listen to us anyway, you probably don't treat life too seriously. We'll all have a beer after. Come and meet us. Like genuinely, come and meet us and have a beer with us.
You can go to eventbrite.co.uk and search Planet FPL, or find us on Twitter at Planet FPL Pod. And James has tweeted links out to Eventbrite.
Actually, because I'm sick of tweeting it and trying to promote it, if you actually go to my bio at the moment...
the link is straight out to Eventbrite. Yep. Perfect. Even better. So there you go. Planet FPL Live. We're talking 12 days away. If no more people come, then 50 are. So I'm happy with that.
Cool.
To be honest with you. So looking forward to it. But do come down. It's going to be really, really good.
Twitter Qs.
Twitter questions.
Which will probably be the best part of that day as well. Is live audience questions.
Live questions.
Shitting ourselves.
Because the thing is with live questions, the thing I like about live questions is you can then interact. Like, people ask us questions sometimes where you want to ask a follow-up question, or you're like, what do you actually mean?
Yeah.
Live, you can do that.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So,
you can actually insult people to their face.
Yeah. Indeed. Right, where are we? Where did you put the tweet out?
Where do you think I put the tweet out, mate?
No, on Twitter, obviously.
Yeah, on Twitter, where I always put the tweet out. Why are you going down? It's going to be one of the last tweets, isn't it?
Is it indeed? It's happening.
There you go. It's there.
Recording Tuesday night. Is it Tuesday? Bank holiday Monday.
It's Tuesday, yes.
Righty-ho.
I've got to go to Amsterdam in about 10 hours.
Failed to load tweet. This is what technology fucking does for you, right?
I'll have a word with yourself.
Here we go.
Here
we go. Go. Yes.
Go on then. Ask a question.
Right, okay. Do you want to read them?
No.
I've always do the reading of the Twitter.
Okay. I'll read the fucking
also
Twitter
don't have
cues
my
for
glasses
But I'm not
down.
taking your phone. I could just use my phone.
I don't know.
All right.
Manchild, the producer.
I'll use my phone.
We used my glasses originally, over there, please, mate.
Originally, I used to do the
You used to do the Twitter questions, and I took over.
And then, actually, we figured out that you were better at it. And one of the reasons you were better at it is because I'm better at fucking answering.
Go on, then.
Right.
FPL Addict 123, our West Ham correspondent, who is confirmed as coming.
Who's reading the questions?
Me, because I got my glasses now. With only the title race left as something to play for in the Premier League, are those teams and home teams the best chances of success this week? Rotation's going to be a bitch, I expect. I disagree, because you look at the likes of Everton, West Ham, Leicester. We've been on good runs in the last 3 or 4 games. And you may as well go out with a bang. Like, we haven't got a cup game to follow like Watford, or any European interests to worry about. I think we're going to end the season with a bang, especially...
There'll be a couple of daft results at the weekend.
That for sure.
Like, I know, because I've got 3 Southampton players. I know that Huddersfield are winning at the weekend.
Yep.
And probably keeping the clean sheet.
Yeah.
What we're at, probably 2-3-0 Huddersfield. Just madness like that. Something mad will happen last day. There'll probably be a game with a mad score as well. The Spurs Leicester last year was 5-4, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Fucking utter chaos. Leicester should have won about 8-6.
Yeah.
There'll be a game like that. But a lot of the games this weekend are quite evenly matched, I would say. So I think you're right, like yourselves at Watford. I actually think because of the cup final, probably I would fancy maybe to go there and win. Like Palace, Bournemouth, so even like Leicester, Chelsea, Spurs, Everton, they all feel quite evenly matched at the moment. You're going to tell me Arsenal definitely going to win at Burnley? I mean, I think they will. I think they'll go for goals and they'll get a few at the weekend. But you couldn't say for certain. Again, you wouldn't be shocked if they went up there and got beat, would you?
Nah.
On paper, the best fixtures, unfortunately, look like City, Liverpool, and then United and Southampton, I'd say.
FPL Badger jumping in.
Norwich correspondent.
Jumping in with a question. I don't remember ever reading a question from Badger previously. So breaking the question.
To be fair, Suj, you keep forgetting what fucking day it is, mate.
Yeah, that's true. But it's only these bank holidays, mate. And I have just come back from Amsterdam. For those of us still on double, triple Wolves cover, should we retain at least one asset on the off chance they get an attacking return rather than take a hit and wild punt? We did talk about this a little bit. So I'm on triple Wolves. I'm playing all three this weekend. The only one that's at risk of not playing is Johnny.
How many Liverpool players you
got? Liverpool, I've got Robertson and Firmino at the moment. I may lose Firmino for Mane.
Wow.
2 Liverpool, 3 Wolves. I'll probably drop Johnny, looking at it sensibly, because I got Ward-Prowse that can play. So, yeah, I'll be dropping Johnny. But I'll be keeping the other 2. So I've got no issue keeping them. They're just a good side.
I am destined to have Jimenez, Hotter and Bolly on my bench and for them to return 25 plus points at the weekend.
Do that for me.
That is my destiny.
If you do nothing else, do that for me.
To be honest, the way it's looking for me with Son and Firmino, there's every chance probably one of them's playing. I'd actually, oddly, I might go Hotter over Jimenez if I play one. I don't know.
True. This question's coming from Neil Murray. Neil SW Murray FPL on Twitter.
Don't say anything about Neil.
No.
But he likes flying.
I'm not going to say nothing about Neil. Apart from, and the reason I like this question is because it reflects on my Game Week 37 as well. We didn't talk about captaincies. Differential captaincy options for Game Week 38. I'm making a case for Wilson, but who do you think looks like a decent... Who do you think look like decent options outside of City and Liverpool? Thread.
Yeah. You were mentioning Zaha, but I think he scored 1 goal at home all season, Zaha. He's got about 10 away.
He's been injured so much.
He's got about 10 away, though.
Interesting.
Mad.
I went with Jota last week against Fulham at home, and it burnt me having a differential captain. Having said that, everyone that went Aguero and Sterling also didn't get anything.
I've got no thoughts to captain anyone but Aguero this weekend.
For me, it's Raheem Sterling.
City. I agree. I think if
you've got one of the two,
yeah,
I feel like City are going to be in party mood.
I think they're better choices this weekend than sort of Mane. I do think if you're an Aubameyang or a Lacazette owner, watch what happens Thursday night, and we're recording 48 hours in advance of that, so we can't really comment. But I think particularly if they have a positive result Thursday, which I think they will, if they don't go to extra time, that kind of thing would be helpful. I think Aubameyang, Lacazette are good captaincy choices at the weekend. Look, it's very unlikely, but he needs to get fucking goals at the weekend, right?
Yeah.
You ain't going to leave either of them 2 out, surely.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It might be good shouts for the weekend, them two, as captaincy alternatives.
Fair play. Carl at FPL Opinion, who firstly says he's grateful that you followed him on Twitter.
Well, he deserved to follow. That's why he got one. Most people don't, by the way. I'm just being honest. People message me all the time. Oh, yeah, can I get a follow too? I've said this before. The second you ask me for a follow, you ain't getting one.
No. It's these guys need dating advice.
To be honest, what's important for me is I need to be viewing people that provide good content.
Yeah.
So I can't be trolling through shit.
Yeah. Your feed does end up with a lot of stuff in it. So Carl wants to know, what's your best FPL moment of the season and worst? We should maybe save this for the live show, Carl. End the season wrap up.
Off the top of my head, best probably be the Aguero hat-trick Game Week 2, unfortunately. That's a bit dull. But it got me off to a good start. So that would probably be the positive. Harry Kane scoring, I think, against Bournemouth on Boxing Day when we won 5-0 because I'd captained him and I'd said I was going to be doing it for weeks, didn't I?
Yeah.
And we were 3-0 up and he returned nothing. I'm thinking, I'm a fucking curse. And I think it was the first time I'd captained Kane and he'd returned because because the listeners will know that I didn't used to have Spurs players at all. So I need to get that monkey off my back. So that was a positive to be in the ground, see that. The negative, some of the points on the bench this year, I mean, fuck me. Mendy 15, David Luiz 15. I can think just individual players that I've like left on the bench. They're the ones that curse you, because you can do something about that, right? You can play these pricks rather than just leave them out. I think I learned a lot about leaving premium defenders out this season. Those would probably be the biggest regrets, and a few where I should have gone, particularly around the blanks. I should have gone in and got like Hazard, Vardy on that.
Yep. FPL cartel. I didn't answer my best FPL moment of the season and worst. I need some time to think about it.
All right.
I will have an answer, which will be in the...
You've got 11 days.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go through my teams and stuff. I don't have a memory like yours when it comes to the stats and the numbers. But I do remember Hazard returning for me as captain for a few times, which was nice.
Actually, that's one. Hazard's returns against Huddersfield. When I went, a lot of people weren't...
You held him through for a while.
Yeah, and
it's always satisfying when you hold a player for a while and then they bang.
I'd held him for that. I binned him straight afterwards, the bastard.
I need to make up 25 points in my cash league, and I'm looking for a differential captain. What do you think about moving from Jimenez to Arnie? And that's FPL_cartel. We're at the stage of the season where just do what makes you happy, because it's one game week. 25 points is a lot to make up.
It's a decent shout.
When so many teams are template. Having said that, just know that you're buying a player that's only scored twice since January, and they were in the same game last week. And there's every chance that you could hear in the next 2 or 3 days that he picks up a knee injury in training and is out again. I
don't mind that as a move.
I'd rather get Zaha than I would to get Arnie, mate, to be honest with you. More reliable.
But I just said one home goal all season.
Yeah, true, but Zaha picks up assists. I can't remember how many assists Arnie's got this season, but it ain't many.
Well, that's the first Arnie's returned in fucking ages. Maybe, he's just trying to get the new contract for the summer, and then he'll be off again moaning in 3-4 months. I don't know.
FPL Haichalets FC. I'm not sure where from, but Haichalets sounds... Hightail Jets? I have no idea. Anyway.
I don't know, but all these strange FPL names, they're all good with us, by the way.
Yeah. Just moving forward, if your name's not like John, James or Jim, stop asking fucking questions.
We're down with all the stupid FPL names. We're okay with that.
I'm changing my handle.
Yeah, you can join this community.
For the last week, do we focus on overall rank or cash mini leagues? Cash mini leagues all the time, mate. Forget overall rank at this point.
Well, the only one threatening me in my friends' mini leagues, the wife, which is about 30 points off.
That's fairly safe.
I should be all right.
Yeah, I mean,
we've actually ended up with quite similar teams as well, so I should be okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good shout. She's ahead of me then by a fair chunk.
I think she is ahead of you.
Yeah, by 60.
I'll have a look at the difference.
Yep. I tell you what, why don't you let her into the Correspondence League next season just for fun?
I'm going to. Yeah, I've already thought about that just for the crack.
So I can see what her score is.
I've always been overall, to be honest, I'm not in any mini league cash leagues. I don't play my friends for money because they're all fucking shit at the game.
Yeah, I'm only in one.
And so I might get involved in a few next year. I think I need to up my game first. I'm going to be out of pocket. Ain't I trying to make money from this FPL gag, not lose money?
Yeah, true.
The first question I always get is, what's your overall rank? No one comes to me and says, what position are you in your mini league with your mates?
That's true.
So I think it's different for us to how it will be for the majority of people. But depends what's most important to you. You'll know. Everybody will be different how they feel about that. So you might be 300,000 in the world and think, but your goal might have been 250k, right?
Yeah. I've set my. I know next season 100k. I'll be happy with top 100k because we've seen this season how hard it is to.
It's going to get harder,
man.
And one of the reasons it's going to get harder, I've said this so many times the last few weeks. So many good, experienced FPL players have had difficult seasons. And it's not just one person out there has had a fucking nightmare. There's a few who've had really difficult seasons. We're not experts by any means, but we've had difficult seasons. And one of the reasons for that is obviously so much data readily available to people now. People are getting more and more in the know. Even the stuff like the official count do on their website, their little previews of who to target this week. And suddenly they get bought into, right?
Yeah.
It's that herd mentality and that. So,
yeah. If Salah and Firmino, this is from Ronan Megan. If Salah and Firmino are confirmed to be unavailable for Sunday's final game, do you think there's any FPL value in Shaqiri, Sturridge, or Divock Origi? Not for me, really.
My instinct's no.
Just move towards Mane more than anything else.
I think if they were both out, I'd maybe tempted to have a look at Sturridge because he'll fall into that price bracket of where I maybe want to move. But then obviously if Salah's out, then no, I won't be moving that way.
No.
Maybe Sturridge. I wouldn't like the idea of going to. Remember, you got to look at Origi after game week 38 until that game relaunches. And I know he's played a vital part in the weekend. I'm not sure that's what you want to be looking at in your team. Sturridge, on a given day, if he has a good day, missed a great chance Saturday, and generally he's quite a good finisher. Shaqiri, I don't know. I mean, he's quite good at football. I still can't work that out.
Well, he looks he's got body shape of you.
It's the body shape as me. Yeah, it don't make sense.
Oh, the FPL governor. FPL governor was asking about replacements.
Van Dijk went and pointed him, was like, you take the free kick for the winning goal of the weekend. And he was like the little fatty in the corner. What, me? Me? What little fatty? Sorry, go on.
FPL governor wants to know who to replace Son with. We've had enough of a chat about that. I mean, there's plenty out there, but it depends on what budget you've got.
The absolute key, by the way, is wait as late as possible. Because everybody's kicking off. Your deadline's, 2:00 Sunday?
Yeah.
I mean, you've definitely got all the press conferences. You've got everybody, all the away teams in terms of their travelling. You're going to know near enough for all the away teams if someone hasn't travelled, for example. So definitely leave it as late as possible. And do exactly what I did last year, which is at 1:50 p.m. by Anthony Martial, just to find out he ain't playing 5 minutes later.
Nah. And he also wants to know if Chick King are sponsoring the live show.
They ain't got enough money.
Nah, they don't, to be honest.
To be fair, they're so cheap.
Forget about it. Chicken and chip shops are making money, mate. That's what you and me need to invest in.
A chicken shop.
A chicken shop, mate.
I think I need to invest in the diet.
Yeah, true. Trust me. It's cash money.
Yeah.
And we could call it
Diets are fucking expensive as
Planet
well.
Chicken.
They're really expensive.
Who would have thought lettuce was expensive?
I just live on lettuce.
Let's open a chicken shop and call it Planet Chicken. You and me.
Chicken Planet.
And we can use it as a studio,
I think
podcast
it's
studio.
Chicken Planet, surely.
Chicken Planet. Chicken Planet.
Yeah.
Manchild, can you register the domain name, please?
Oi, blood, just going down Chicken Planet, you know.
Yeah. And you get a free bit of FPO advice with every 2-piece bucket meal. Oh, this is turning into a great business idea.
It'll never take off. We're talking about fried chicken, Manchild. Sit down, don't worry.
You need to register chickenplanet.co.uk. We're opening a chicken shop called Chicken Planet. This is from Amber Redmond. Which Premier League players do you think you could beat in an arm wrestle? Also, have you made a decision about how much of your private life you share on the pod, or just share what feels right? You did say questions with an S on the end, so multiple. In terms of private life, I just share whatever I feel like in the moment.
I think I share way too much sometimes.
Yeah, true. Thing is, like, we talked about it off air, right? My wife doesn't listen to the show, so I can say whatever I like. Yours listens.
Mine does.
And now we're at the point 130. She said,
did you mention me on the pod? And I go, yeah. And then so she listens to it and she goes, why the fuck did you say that about me?
I think it's the accent that does it, mate. Mine doesn't listen, and now we're 130 episodes in. She ain't going back to episode 70 or something, is she?
No, she's not going to find out about the affairs now. No chance
on that. Yeah, so we're just kind of play it by ear. In terms of which Premier League players do you think you could beat in an arm wrestle? I got 2 straight out of the bat. Bernard at Everton. He's got the skinniest arms.
I don't know. He's quite.
No. Those arms are fucking like toothpicks, mate. And the other one is Juan Foyt, because I think he's got to go and do his 11 plus
to be
exams.
Fair, Juan Foyt's a good shout there.
Is he doing his 11 plus or his 13 plus exams straight off?
Juan Foyt.
Tiny little guy, skinny.
He's a good shout.
I think those two are like the little ones, aren't they?
Ozil,
Yeah.
very.
Yeah. I wouldn't. I wouldn't. You know, I had the odd arm wrestle with my kids, and I let them win. Right, they're like 5 years old, 6 years old. That's what would happen with Ozil. I'd be like, I'd probably feel bad for him and let him win.
I wouldn't.
Nah, because he's a gooner, isn't he?
Well, yeah.
Morpheus Fire. Shout out to Morpheus Fire. Morpheus. I don't know if he wants everyone to know his location and whereabouts, but I'm going to tell him anyway. He's coming to the live show.
Oh, is he?
Indeed.
That's a giveaway.
Yeah, there you go. So thank you, and we look forward to meeting you, my friend. Salah and Son options after the disaster of Game Week 37. How many hits is it worth taking for just one game week? You've got 2 transfers or 1?
1.
Yeah, and you don't feel comfortable taking a hit.
Yeah.
But if you've got money in the bank, you've got to use it, right?
I've got Son and Firmino both out. I'm taking a hit, mate.
And we don't know the Salah situation at the moment, right?
And like I said, even if I move, I think if you had to make a Son transfer right now, I'd go to Mora.
Yeah, I like the idea of Mora. Because you know he's going to play.
You would hope. Thinks of Llorente and Janssen. And
yeah, if Janssen's in the starting lineup, then yeah, you may as well.
If Llorente and Janssen play, I'm telling you, Arsenal can still finish 4th, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then if I go Son to Mora, I'm left with, I've got like 3-4 million in the bank, man. I'm going to want to spend it.
Yeah.
So, and I think I would go off Ward-Prowse to another hitter or something. I don't know.
FPL
or Jimenez up to, I'd be up sort of like Jimenez up to Lacazette area, wouldn't I?
Yeah, which is tasty. Of which of Leeds, Villa, West Brom, and Derby would be the most interesting team to add to from the FPL point of view?
FPL point of view,
Villa.
Leeds was my instinct.
I'd say Villa because Villa, I reckon, will drop some cash.
I don't think Leeds will be shy, mate.
Yeah, true. Villa just that little bit more recently been. In
terms of the
financials,
Leeds are out the other end of the problems as far as I'm aware now. So
but Villa have still got a little bit of parachute money and stuff. So
the thing with them two, especially those two, you do feel that whatever position their squad is when it comes up, a bit like when Newcastle come back and that, you feel like they'll stay.
They should stay.
Yeah.
I think Villa will buy some decent players, maybe convert a few loans to permanents. So from an FPL point of view, I wouldn't mind a bit of Villa. I think there'll be some value to be had there. If Derby come up and or West Brom, then there'll be some real cheapies in there. That's where your 4 and 4.5.
But there will be the other guys. I mean, was talking with FPL Blade and FPL Heskew and a few others earlier about like Ender Stevens. Someone, I forget who it was, apologies. They won't listen to this shit podcast anyway. But they'd done an analysis of championship points last season. Now, Ender Stevens, Sheffield United's left wing back, come out well out in front, mate. So I'm looking at it and going, remember Barry Douglas last year? Like, nobody was talking about Doherty. Yeah. It was all about Barry Douglas and these assists from corners and that. Came in at 5 million, didn't he? Disappeared to Leeds. And we all got in on Doherty like by sort of week 4 or 5, really.
Yeah.
Ender Stevens, unfortunately for Sheffield United, probably be 5 million. Norwich have got 2 flying fullbacks in Aarons and Lewis, but they don't keep clean sheets. I think they kept 13 clean sheets last season, which is about 10 less than Sheffield United.
Right.
But Norwich have got more firepower going forward, right? So.
Next question coming in from FPL Dominus. And we've only got a couple more questions left, but this one's straight up for you.
Boom.
Do you think Eriksen will sign a new contract now that Spurs are going to finish in the top 4?
No.
Oh, you think he's on his way, eh? Yeah. Where's he going?
I think...
España.
I know I've joked on this pod so many times that we're not buying players and we don't buy players. I think there's going to be mass changes at Spurs this summer.
Interesting.
And it'll go one of 2 ways. It will go as in progression. And to be honest, because Liverpool and City are so far ahead, progression might be getting to the high end of 70 points and finishing 3rd and playing better football. Because we haven't, for the majority of this season, we haven't played good football, honestly. Or it could go the other way. But I think Spurs need to get back to going and investing in young British talent. And there are a lot of players there who will be... Eriksen will go, I think. Alderweireld will go. I think Trippier and Aurier could both go. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if Danny Rose went, but I don't think any of the clubs that were sort of looking 2 years ago would look now. Wanyama could go.
Harry Kane.
If someone bid a lot of money for Dyer, if somebody bid a lot of money for Ali, Harry Kane's not going anywhere, mate.
Money
and then
talks.
we've got to get rid of the people on the books like Llorente and Janssen and Kudu and these kind of fucking
You heard it here
shits.
first. Spurs are going to have a new squad next season, man.
I think there could be mass changes.
Interesting. Last question. I'll keep it a simple yes or no. Also coming in from FPL Dominus. Is Mason Greenwood a good option for Game Week 38? No.
Depends, right?
It's not a good option, though, is it?
I watched a video yesterday of this guy's goals, actually, for the under-23s this year. All right, these clips always make someone look better than they really are, but, I mean, either foot, not bothered. He can finish if he gets there. No, you can tell in the way he plays, no doubt, no lack of self-opinion or ability in himself.
Yeah.
And I was listening to Hortz on FPL Surgery's podcast last week with Hortz and Tom Campbell.
TC.
Was absolutely fantastic. And Hortz was talking on about Greenwood as a possibility. And yeah, I'd see that more in the home game than the away game that's gone. You know, you got the whole crowd on side. I can see a few of the kids maybe playing for United this
What's
weekend.
he priced at, Greenwood? Do you know?
Maybe 4 or 5, I would have thought.
Cheapest chip. So, I mean, if you've got no money and he's the only option to
If
go
Lukaku's out and all that, if Solskjaer says on Friday he's starting Sunday, of course he is. They're home to fucking Cardiff. And the crowd will get behind him, right? And he'll be right up for it, buzzing. So, yes, it's an option. There's talk of, I mean, it's different because of the occasion for Liverpool on Sunday, but there's talk of Ryan Brewster playing against Barcelona tomorrow night as well. So,
yeah.
That would be a massive gamble. I don't see why he would get in at this moment ahead of Sturridge or Origi. But Greenwood, yeah, why not? And there'll be someone else who'll play at the weekend who you don't fucking know, who'll probably play and score.
And then everyone will have him next season in the starting.
Ask the
lineups.
correspondents. You never know. They might know something.
Mason Greenwood is 4.5 million. I don't think it's a good shout because at this stage of the season, if you've got 4.5 million players in your starting lineup, I'm not sure it's a good idea. But you know what? Last week of the season, have some fun. And that is that, James. We've been chatting for a long time. We're into Fergie time, extra time, the type of time that Liverpool are going to need to beat Barcelona tomorrow. Extra time.
Yeah, I need to get to Amsterdam.
Indeed. So have a safe trip. Good luck to your Spurs. I always support the British clubs in Europe. Couldn't care less who they are.
I hope they always fucking lose unless it's mine.
Really?
Yeah, fuck them.
Nah, I always support the British club. So I hope you do all right, even though you're an unpatriotic bastard.
I'm harsh. Us Liverpool fans, they don't think they're English anyway. They think they're Scouse, don't they?
Whatever they are, they are. So my best wishes with you. Have a safe trip. I'll leave you the names and numbers of some interesting places in Amsterdam.
Oh, yeah.
In the meantime...
You know I'm going with my dad, right?
Yeah, of course.
My mum's been looking to get rid of him for fucking 30 plus years. So, you never know.
Yeah, he might not come back with you. He might stay there. Thank you for listening to the show again. We've only got one more episode next Monday before the end of the season, followed by the live show, which you can find on Twitter. And then we'll be taking a short break, but we got lots planned for the summer, which we'll talk about soon.
We might even talk about it next week.
Indeed. In the meantime, enjoy your game week. Don't stress too much. Make your transfers. Have some fun. Rate and review the podcast. And you'll find us on Twitter at Planet FPL Pod or at Suj Shah. And nothing else to add from my side. Anything else from you?
Come to the fucking show.
Please
Remember, it's just a game. Good luck, everyone. Cue music, man, child.
Ciao for now.
What should the trophy be called?
Premier League.
The Fantasy Football Show.